everyone, and welcome to an afternoon edition of Topic Time with Harrison Young. I'm actually doing two shows today, which is pretty awesome. I haven't done that in like 11 years, but sometimes you gotta roll with the waves, and that's what we're doing today. So I have an awesome guest today. He's in the biggest little state in the union, Rhode Island. He's a podcaster. We're going to talk to him. But before we get to him, we got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we got Genuine's Inspection in Middleborough. We got Rodney's Kitchen in Halifax. We got the Cornerstone Barbershop in Pembroke. We got the Peppermint Twist Candy Shop in Marshfield. We got La Bamba Tacos and Tequila Mexican Restaurant in Plymouth. We got South Shore Market in Pembroke. We got Pembroke Radiator in Pembroke. We got Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We got Crazy Axis Rec Center in Hanover. We got Pals Driving School in Middleborough, setting up shop for classes in June and August. Their website is checkable. You can see all that in Middleborough. Got Ocean Auto Repair in Marshfield. We got the Gunrunner LLC in Middleborough, the Second Amendment Freedom Store. We got DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington, right here on Route 58. And we got the Fadeologist 101 Barbershop in Brockton. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now I'll officially introduce Mr. Brad Bailey. He has a podcast called the Hip Hop Happy Hour, and he's sitting in his little studio there. And thank you for doing my show today, Brad. Is that what you go by, Brad? Brad, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Brad's good. Thank you for the opportunity to be on the show.
Yeah, thank you for I always say it's a great guest to make Topic Time prime. Okay, so you have a podcast there, and it looks kind of upbeat, and that's what podcasts should be. They should all be upbeat, so, but not in this day and age. There's all kinds of variations on a theme, obviously, and it's quite an amazing run of podcasts that we have in the country and the world. I actually just got an inquiry from a guy in Liberia, in Africa, to do my show, which was awesome. We haven't gone to the dark continent yet, but we're conquering it. We're conquering here and there, near and far. But now we're talking to you. So tell me about yourself. You grew up in, are you a lifelong Rhode Islander?
Pretty much. I grew up in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, right outside of Providence.
Right, I know.
I lived around. I lived in Daytona Beach for my teenage years, but you always come back home,
Okay, all right. So Pawtucket is it's a charming city. It's got quite a history. So what did you aspire to as a kid? What were you like? What did you do? What did you do as a kid? What were your goals and aspirations for being an adult when you were young? And let's figure out how it led to what you're doing now. Go ahead. And if
I was a lost child.
Okay.
I was one of the lost children, and I didn't have much direction growing up. I'm the youngest of 10 kids, so I was kind of a latchkey child.
Wow.
And growing up late 80s, early 90s, it was a different world than what it is today. And we were outside all day riding bikes and, causing trouble, being little brats.
Okay. Then having chowing down on Uncle Tony's Pizza, right?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I know. I hear about
Tony's.
I've never been to one, but I hear it's a pretty awesome establishment in Rhode Island. Okay. All right. But did you do anything? Obviously you like to play outside with the kids. At least you sound like you had friends though. When you say you were a lost child, does that mean you were like kind of like abandoned by others, or were you?
No. I just mean was one of the at-risk children that always caused trouble and that sort of thing. It was just out there in the world, growing up, trying to survive,
Okay.
Actually, podcasting came about almost by accident.
Oh, I know. Everything happens for a reason. But what happened? How did that come about? What happened?
I was on Facebook one day in a different group, and some guy by the name of Anthony L'Italian, I gotta give a shout out to him.
Okay.
He started a group called Hip Hop Lifers, and he asked me to be a part of it in its early stages. And it was a Facebook group, and then we kind of developed it almost into a mini business. We started writing record reviews, and we started promoting hip hop events out in Boston and Worcester. And then I created the podcast in April of last year.
Okay, so in 2022 you created it. So it's just about reaching its first birthday then. Next month it'll be.
And then next month is April 14th will be our 1 year anniversary. It started out as the Doing Time, a Lifers cast, and then I kind of evolved into the hip hop happy hour, and then I created another group called the Culture Corner
Oh, yeah, the
to
culture.
kind of bring.
Facebook.
Yeah, we created that to try to like bring everyone together. It's a public space.
Okay,
It's not just about one genre of music or one thing. We want it to be about every aspect of popular culture.
okay. All right, so these two different podcasts you do, the Hip Hop Happy Hour and the Culture Corner, are they different or are they the same or what?
No, no, the Culture Corner is the Facebook group. The Hip Hop Happy Hour is the podcast. We do actually have another podcast that we're launching on
Okay,
April 17th.
okay,
It's called the Culture Cast. It's going to be a panel discussion
yeah,
podcast rather than an interview podcast.
okay. Well, the Hip Hop Happy Hour, is that like we discuss music or hip hop of the hip hop genre? Is that it?
Yeah, we have a lot of very well-known underground artists on. We've had Reef the Lost Cause, who's a very well-known Philadelphia artist.
Okay,
We've had Outer Space. We've had Snow Goons, who are producers from Germany, very well-known in the underground hip-hop scene.
okay. So you have people perform on the shows, is that it?
Oh, no, no, it's an interview.
Oh, it's all
just
an
like
interview,
this.
okay. So you never have them perform at all, or it's just all straight dialogue with them, is that it?
Yeah, it's a straight conversation. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering, okay, now, so when you have guests on, do you have more than one usually at a time? Or
We
just,
try to do it. I have a co-host. He goes by the Uncle Evan. He's
okay,
out of Providence also, and
okay,
it's him and I usually. And
okay,
we try to have one guest on at a time, but we've had multiple, up to 3 or 4 guests at a time.
okay. And
It depends on if it's a group.
how long does it usually last, the podcast?
Well, we do an hour because
Oh,
it's in the name, the Hip Hop Happy Hour. So
okay,
we try to keep it up to an hour.
okay. And all these, now, the artists don't have, sometimes you have them on in person, sometimes you have them on Zoom. Is that how it works too? Depending on how far away.
We use the StreamYard service, and we've always done it over StreamYard. We haven't done any in person yet.
You haven't done any in person, okay. Do you have enough room in there to have people on in person, or are you just gonna keep it on Zoom, at a Zoom, continuum the way it is now for an indefinite period? Is that how you plan to keep it going, just like that?
Well, we are going to be looking into studio space
Okay,
to have people on that are at least the people that are local, but we've had people from all around the world. So it's kind of hard to keep, to
right,
get
but I mean,
everybody in one spot.
no, I understand that, but if you have people that are local, I mean, then maybe they could come in and be there in person. That's always nice.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, that's it.
I always prefer, I mean, I love Zoom. I love the fact that we're able to reach out to, pretty much go anywhere, but I always prefer when someone's with me. I just like the personal interview. But, again, I mean, you got to make do with what you got. And fortunately, Zoom is such a great technology now that it's reaching pinnacle. It's bringing podcasts and like us the pinnacles of success we never would have foreseen, even just 3 or 4 years ago, obviously. So that's incredible. All right, now tell me about the culture. Yeah. Tell me about the culture.
You can reach across the world, so
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing.
It is. Or even just reach, to the next state, which is what we're doing.
Mm.
I mean, I had a
Exactly.
guest here last year that lived a mile away from here. So he did the show out of his house, I guess. It was a high school
Right.
kid. Okay, and how do you find the people that you interview? Or do they find you, or both? How does that work?
It goes both ways. I've had artists message me directly. I have
Okay.
a scout that works for the Culture Corner. His name's Jesse Elliott. He's out of New Hampshire,
Okay.
and he does a great job. He does a great job hunting down artists, finding them, messaging them, getting in contact, and then scheduling everything up for us.
Okay. So as a scout, does he actually visit like clubs and talk to people like that? Is that how he finds them?
It's mostly online. It's mostly
Oh,
through
it is.
Instagram, Facebook.
Okay, so
Yeah.
basically so pretty much just reaches out like on Facebook and then, and all the other social media that's available, but Facebook is the main one. I know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about the Culture Corner now. How is that different than the hip hop happy hour? You said it's got
Well,
you got people of different ethnicities on. Is that how that works? Is that how you usually, or I mean, when I think of culture, that's what I think of. different.
Yeah, it involves everyone. We have people from all around the world, from here to Australia and back.
Okay.
We have my mod team is from all around the world. My mod and my admin team. We have a gentleman out of the UK. We have a gentleman out of Cambodia. And so
Wow.
the Culture Corner I want it to be an all-inclusive, open public forum for artists and fans to come together
Okay.
and share ideas and network together and build toward the future because AI and the amount of music and technology moves so fast
Yep.
that I want everyone to just slow it down for a second and actually build a foundation together.
Okay. Well, that makes sense, I guess. Now, what happens? I mean, you say you get people from different parts of the world. Do you, what if there's a language problem? Like, are you multilingual, or any of the people that are involved? Do you have translate? I mean, can you translate by Zoom if you have to? Do you ever have that happen with the people that you interview that are in different parts of the world?
No, we haven't. We haven't. The snow goons that we've had from Germany, they speak English perfectly. And
Okay.
we've never had a problem with anything. If we're communicating over text, it just does it automatically by itself. So it's kind of the technology has made it easier to come together worldwide.
Yeah, I know that. Okay. Did you go to college at all? And if so, where?
No,
You never went to
no,
college.
sir. No,
Okay.
I've been actually I'm a chef. I've been cooking for the past 29 years.
Wow, 29 years. My goodness, you don't even look that old. I mean, you look like you could be 29.
Yeah, no, I'm a little older than that. I just turned 43.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Are you working like in a restaurant, or just, I mean, is that it? Or just a chef? You have your own catering service as
No,
well as,
I work for a healthcare company actually. It's
oh,
called
really?
Healthcare Services Group. Yeah,
Okay.
I work in nursing homes.
I see. Yeah, you got to feed the people in the nursing home. Okay. Well, so when it comes to working for them, I mean, you cook the food and then you don't, and you have to deliver it to the patients, or does someone else do that?
We have people that do that for us.
Yeah,
I just cook.
you just cook. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, I mean, obviously, if that can't be easy. It's got to be that's challenging work, and that's great. Well, did you ever go to culinary art school at all?
Nope,
You try
nope, just
yourself?
fell into it. Just fell
Okay,
into it.
okay, all right, that's cool. You've been doing this for 29 years, working as a chef at the same place for 29?
No, I've worked all over. I've worked all over Massachusetts, Rhode Island. My company contracts. I've been
Okay,
with them for the past 13 years.
wow, okay. Oh, okay. So are you the chief cook and bottle washer of this company? Are you the boss?
Oh no. I'm one of the lackeys. There's
Okay,
bosses upon bosses. It's a worldwide corporation actually.
right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Tell me some of the other things you've done that that could be pertinent to what you're doing now. You never went to college, but did you ever do any? I mean, yeah, I mean, did you ever perform music yourself? Did you ever do any? Did you ever do any writing or anything like that? It has to, that might have to do with what you're doing now.
I
Anything?
did a lot of I did a lot of writing as a kid, but I never performed music myself. But
Okay.
I when we started Hip Hop Lifers, like I said, it was a Facebook group to start, and then we started promoting shows. Like
Okay.
we were putting together the bills with all the artists, making sure everybody was getting paid,
Yep.
DJs, going to the venues. We did 6 shows last year. And so
Wow.
that's actually something I want to continue on with this year. I'm going to be trying to put together something for the end of the summer for the first Culture Corner show.
Okay. All right. When you promote something like that, I mean, you talk about you have your guests on, or well, either usually by Zoom. I guess so far that's all it's been. And then you talk about where they're going to be performing. Is that it? To let people know that are watching the podcast where they can see them perform. Is that how that works?
Yeah, we when the artists come on, we talk about just about anything. We do
Yeah.
have a few segments that we like to a few questions that we constantly ask every guest, but we
Okay.
usually just let them speak and tell their story and tell their background, their influences, where they come from, and try to get a more of a conversation out of them than trying to grill them with questions over and over, like the same old questions that they would hear from every single other interviewer.
Right. That's the way I do my show too. I mean, I let the conversation go where it will. I mean, and I think, I never, I mean, I screen people. I minimally screen everybody that I interview. I look at their Facebook page. I see, you know, what they do. But then when it comes to actually doing the show, unless they tell me something specific, either to talk about, either to focus on it or to not talk about, I pretty much just, you know, based on what I've read, and even if it's minimal. Why do you, are you a big fan of hip hop as opposed to other forms of music? Is that it? I'm just wondering about that, because that's, I mean, what if a heavy metal rock star wanted to be on the show? Obviously, they wouldn't qualify because that's not the kind of music that you talk about, right? Or wouldn't it matter, or what?
Right. They wouldn't qualify for that podcast.
They might be on the other one though, right?
I'm a fan of all kinds of music, but with the other podcast that we are launching, that we want everyone to be involved with the Culture Cast. That it's going to be launching on April 17th. It's a Monday.
Right. Okay. It sounds like Patriots Day too. It'll probably be a lot of, that's probably the day they run the marathon.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wow.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that.
Oh, I remember that, because in 2045, I'm going to run the marathon. That was a 50-year plan I came up with in 1995 on that very date, April 17th of that year. When I was washing windows at a lady's house in Beaumont. And I said, 50 years from now, I'm going to be in the marathon at 85 and a half, which is because I was 35 and a half then. Okay. So how many people do you think you've had on the show so far since you started it last year? I mean, let me see if I can. How many people, how many artists do you usually get on a week for your podcasts, or for the hip hop on average?
We air every Thursday night live at 8 p.m.
Okay.
We're going into our 43rd episode tonight.
Okay. So it's been basically, it's been consistently one show a week since April 14th of 2022.
Yeah, well, we took a little bit of a hiatus in November to take a break because we were going so hard from April. We didn't stop. We didn't take 1 week off.
Wow.
So we took the month of November off. We regrouped. We created the Culture Corner.
Okay.
And then we rebranded the podcast name, logos, and got everything ready, and then launched everything back up in December.
Oh, okay. You didn't take, but I mean, usually at the end of the year, if you're going to take time off, it's for the holidays. But you didn't stop for Christmas and New Year's now, right?
No, we had a Christmas episode, New Year's episode. We did it that week.
Okay.
I think they were the day after, actually, Christmas.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. So how often do you run the Culture Corner? That's another. How often do you do that podcast, and when do you do it?
Well, the Culture Cast hasn't started yet. The Culture Corner.
Oh, it hasn't. Okay, okay. So basically, that's sort of in the works right now.
We're in developing.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you say you were going to start the Culture Corner on April 17th? Is that it?
The Culture Cast. Yep. April 17th.
Okay. All right. Fine. All right. On Monday, April 17th. Okay. So that's going to be your first podcast for that. So are you going to continue to run that on Mondays and run the other one on Thursdays, basically, for a while until you see how that goes?
Yeah, that's the plan. We also have on our YouTube channel, the Culture Corner YouTube channel, we have a couple of different series. We have a couple of different series that we run. One is called The Blind Reviewer. It's starring Kevin Crisis Cooper. He's actually a blind man from Jamaica. Very good friend of mine. Excellent member of the team, and he does a on-camera review, like almost real-time review of albums and TV shows and movies. I think he's going to be doing his 7th episode or 8th episode this week. And we also have another series called Speak Unplugged, which is an artist that I manage. His name is Speak the Rebel. He's from Natick, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And it's a vlog series about his journey from being a hip hop artist, and now he's becoming, he's starting to make music outside of the hip hop realm and the singer-songwriter realm. So he's been doing a vlog series that we have going uploaded on our YouTube channel also.
Oh, okay. So these are people that sort of inspired you to start the Culture Corner. Obviously, that's a pretty big deal. These people are obviously going to be guests on the show too. Are they going to help you kick it off when you start it?
Oh yeah, they've already been. Speak the Rebels been a guest on the Hip Hop Happy Hour a few times,
Okay,
and
okay.
yeah, they're part of the team. There's a team of people behind me. It's not just me running everything by myself.
All right,
I
right.
have a
Tell me about the
friend of
people
mine,
that
Anthony.
you, that you work with. Talk about just sum them all up. Give a little synopsis to everybody in both of your of your podcasts, so we can
Gotcha.
profile.
I have Anthony Gonzalez. He's from Colorado. Well, he lives in Colorado right now. He's the
Okay,
producer of the Hip Hop Happy Hour podcast. He also makes all of our logos
okay.
and
Including that
excellent
one
artist.
behind you, right?
Yep, yep. He takes care of all the logos. And
Okay,
then Jesse Elliott, like I had said, he's the scout and co-founder of the Culture Corner. We have Kevin Crisis Cooper. He takes care of the blind reviewer.
okay,
Speak the Rebel. He takes care of a lot of different things. Adrian Miranda. He's one of my behind the scene tech guys. Dimitri. He's one of the tech guys. It's a big team. Bex Davis. She's kind of like the street team, and we're trying to make something different than everyone else is doing right now.
yep,
And
absolutely.
we're doing well. We're doing well with it at this point.
Right. So so basically you work during the day. Most of the time you work during the day as a chef at that nursing home, right? And then the nights are when you do the podcast. Is that it?
Yeah, it's every Thursday night, 8 p.m. live.
Okay, for an hour, right? Each one. So far, the hip hop happy hour has been an hour, and that's what the other one's going to be too, right? When you start that.
Well, we're shooting for an hour, hour and a half on the other one, hour and a half max, because it's going to be a four-person panel,
Yeah.
and we want to have everyone have enough time to speak. So
Yep.
we're working out the logistics. We're going to be shooting the first episode, hopefully in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you said April 17th. You're talking about the Culture Corner, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but you're going to be shooting it in 2 weeks is only going to be. It's today's March 9th, so that'll be the 23rd. So you're starting. You're going to shoot it on. You're going to shoot some footage from the 23rd that you're going to insert edit it into the show on the 17th of April. Is that it?
Right. Well, it's going to be a pre-recorded podcast.
Okay. All right. Just the first one, and then you're going to start going live after that. Is that how you're going to do it?
No, we're going to keep the Culture Cast as a pre-recorded. It just works out easier logistic-wise because we have panel guests from all around the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So we kind of have to nail down a date and time that works for everyone. So
exactly. And you have to consider that if it's all around the world, you're going to have a time difference too that you have to for everybody.
exactly.
Right. Wow. Huh. Have you? Wow. Okay. And yet you haven't had any issues with language. Everybody speaks English, or at least enough of the people. But what are you going to do if you? I mean, isn't it possible that you might need to have some kind of a translator if you? And let's say you reach out to someone in Italy that doesn't speak English. Is that possible? I mean, the people are you reaching out to? So, obviously that's a very cultural country, like those romantic language countries like Italy, France, Switzerland. Well, Switzerland they speak English, but some of those countries in Europe they might not speak English. I mean, is that something that you have to think about, or no? Don't you? Doesn't it matter? What do you say about that?
I would book anyone if I had someone from Italy that wanted to be on the show and they didn't speak English that well and they had a translator that was willing to work with them, that would be fine. They're more than welcome to be on the show.
Isn't it? But something. It seems to me that now, if using a Zoom setup like you have now, in fact, anything that you want translated can be done by Zoom. I thought, with graphics. I think I'm pretty sure I've seen that done. I know that. Oftentimes when somebody does my show, if they're from another country, and oftentimes they'll do a plug, and then you'll see like people writing in their language, praise and congratulations that you're going to do my show. But then you can click a button, you can click the thing, and it'll translate for you. So you might be able to do that if you ever have people from countries that don't speak English.
That would work too.
Yeah,
that would work.
Yeah, because that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. I want to see people from other parts of the world that don't speak English and how you deal with it, because that's going to be wild. I mean, I'm sure that'll be. I mean, they really have some culture. I'm just thinking some of the country. Do you know the countries that you're going to be? Do you have plans for countries that you're going to be calling people specifically in countries in already that you know about before you even start? I know you probably have some people lined up.
We're booked until June. We're
Wow.
booked every Thursday until June. So
Okay.
I have somebody from South Africa that's going to be on at the end of May.
Yeah, but that's, I'm talking about
I have
the
another.
culture. I'm talking about the, yeah, okay. Because you just said Thursday. That's the day you do the hip hop thing, right? The hip hop.
No, I'm talking about the hip hop happy hour. We're booked
You are?
until
Okay.
June. Yeah,
Right.
and I have artists that are from South Africa,
Oh,
the
I see.
UK,
Yep.
and other places that are already booked in
Oh,
May and end of April. So yeah, we don't have a problem with booking anyone from around the world.
Oh, okay. All right. But I'm talking about the other show because that's where you're going to be reaching out to people that might not speak English.
Right, and I already have people from around the world that are wanting to be on that show because what I did was I put a post out on Facebook in the Culture Corner, and
Yep.
I just asked everyone, if you want to be involved, let me know. And I think I've already gotten about 12 people that want to be on. So that's 6 episodes right there that we can shoot
There you
within
go.
a few weeks.
All right. You already, yeah, you got your ducks in a row. Well, guess what, Brad? We're under 5 minutes now. I hope we covered your I hope we covered your deal as well. I try to do it as thoroughly as possible. I hope we're enlightening the world to your podcast and what you do, and hopefully we get more people on there for you and me. So that having been said, what I'd like you to do is look at your computer, give shouts out to a few of those people that you just mentioned that are going to see the show, and then we'll wrap it up with my snapping again like we began the show. So go ahead. We'll just condense them.
Right.
So go on.
No problem. I want to thank you for the opportunity for coming on the show. I want to give a shout out to my team. Everybody, you guys know who you are. Kevin, Jesse, Speak, Bex, Shane, Adrian, Dimitri, Anthony, everybody. You guys know I appreciate you. I want to say everybody on the Corner Crew, I appreciate every one of you for tuning in. Go like and subscribe to the Culture Corner YouTube channel so you can catch the Hip Hop Happy Hour with hosted by me and Uncle Evan. We're on tonight, 8 p.m. live. And I wanted to say thank you to everyone out there for giving us the opportunity to be a part of your day-to-day lives and your popular culture journey.
Great. Now, if you had fun with me, what I'd like you to do is anybody that you can think of that might be a great guest on my show, you have my digits, have them text me. We'll get them on either by Zoom or in person. I'm an open book. I'm getting more guests from word of mouth now than ever before. In addition to getting my usual guests from Facebook, which I've been getting for 13 years. But if you, like I said, you know a lot of people, I'd love to get them on my show too. So just please spread the word and we'll get them on.
Will do. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, is there anything coming up in addition to what you talked about before that you want to mention real quick? If not, that's fine. Then we'll just wrap the show up the way we began it. I just want to make sure that we covered everything that you want.
No, that's all. I think I covered everything. Just like I said, you guys go out there, go to Culture Corner, every social media site, the Culture Corner. Go like and subscribe.
Okay. All right. Now, one more favor I'm going to ask. Once we wrap the show up in a minute, will you stick around and do some pictures from Facebook? My tech guy will take them from his computer.
Sure.
To let the world know you were on Topic Time with me. All right. Great job, Brad. And thank you for watching, folks. Next week, see you another Topic Time episode coming up. Another great one. Take care. Signing off.